A young Venetian, Bassanio, needed a loan of 3,000 ducats so that he could woo Portia, a wealthy Venetian heiress. He approached his friend Antonio, a merchant, who was short of money because all his wealth was invested in his fleet, which was at sea. He went to a Jewish moneylender, Shylock, who hated Antonio, but nevertheless agreed to make a short-term loan. In a moment of dark humor, he adds a condition that the loan must be repaid in 3 months, or Shylock will exact a pound of flesh from Antonio. Antonio agrees, confident that his ships will return in time. News arrived that Antonio's ships had been lost at sea and he was declared bankrupt. Antonio could no longer repay the loan, and without mercy, Shylock demanded a pound of his flesh. Bassanio and Graciano were informed that Antonio had been arrested and left in haste to help their friend. Portia and Nerissa resolved to follow, disguised as lawyers. The fate of Antonio rests in this court. Let's find out what will happen to Antonio.
All right.
Well, is Antonio here?
I'm here and ready, as you please.
I'm sorry for you. You come here to face an adversary as stubborn as a rock, an inhuman wretch incapable of pity, completely empty of a single drop of mercy.
I've heard that you have tried your hardest to change his rigid mind, but since he remains stubborn and there is nothing I can do legally to escape him, I'll meet his anger with patience and suffer his tyranny and rage quietly.
One of you go and tell the Jew to come to the court.
He is waiting outside the door. Here he comes, my lord.
Make room so that he stands right in front of me. Shylock, everyone thinks, and I agree, that you're just putting on a show of such a malice until the very last minute. And you will at last show some mercy, and something maybe even more shocking to see from you than your cruelty. It is widely thought that you will not only forget about the penalty, a pound of this poor merchant's flesh, but will even let some of the money go, with the losses that have recently come to weigh upon Antonio. Touched by human gentleness and love, out of pity for the losses that have recently come to weigh upon Antonio, which were enough to ruin a royal merchant, which were enough to make a stone-hearted feel bad for himself, who aren't used to showing any courtesy. Take pity on him. We expect a gentle reply to this from you, Jew.
Your Grace, I've already told you what my intentions are. I've sworn upon the Holy Sabbath to take what's legally owed to me. If you deny me this rightful penalty, it will reflect poorly upon your state and its freedom. I'm sure you would ask me, why would I accept a pound of flesh rather than 3,000 ducats offered to me? Well, I just feel like it. Is that enough of an answer?
This is not a sufficient answer, you unfeeling man, to excuse your cruelty.
I don't have to please you with answers.
Do all men kill things they dislike?
Would everyone like to kill things they hate?
Not every act of wrongdoing must lead to hate.
What? Would you let a snake sting you twice?
Please, are you trying to reason with the Jew? You might as well go stand on the beach and ask Tide to not to come, as high as his custom. You might as well ask the wool why he makes the Eve cry by eating the lamb. You might as well do anything impossible to try to soften his Jewish heart. Is there anything harder than his heart? Therefore, I ask you to make no more offers and make use of no more strategy to persuade him. Rather, let judgment be passed on me and let the Jew have his way without any more delay.
Here is 6,000 ducats instead of the 3,000 that is owed to you.
I won't take your offer. It was 6 times the money. I'll still take what's legally owed to me.
How can you hope for mercy if you don't show it yourself?
Why should I worry about mercy when I have nothing wrong? You have among yourself purchased many slaves, which you use horribly, like donkeys, dogs, or mules, because you bought them. Why don't you free them? Should I tell you to go and marry them to their heirs? Why not their bed be as soft as yours? Why not they share the same fine food as you? You tell me because you bought them. Similarly, the pound of flesh that I bought from the merchant, and that's what I demand.
I have the power to dismiss this court, unless Valerio, a learned advocate, comes here today. I have sent for him to decide about this case.
My lord, there is a messenger standing just outside with a letter from Valerio. Here he comes, my lord. He just arrived from Pune.
Bring me the letter and call in the messenger.
Cheer up, Antonio. Keep your courage, man. The Jew will have all my flesh, blood, and bones before I let him take one drop of blood from you on my account.
Like a diseased sheep who ought to die.
Have you come from Padua, from Valerio?
Yes, from both, my lord. Belarius and his greetings, your grace.
Why are you sharpening your knife so eagerly?
To cut what's legally owed to me from the bankrupt man over there.
You should be sharpening your knife not on the sole of your shoe, Harju, but on your heart and soul. But no blade, not even the executioner's axe, is half sharp as a sharp anvil. Can no prayer pierce a stubborn heart?
No. At least no prayers are enough.
Oh, damn you, you dog. May justice comes to you. You almost make me change my mind and agree with the Pythagoras that the soul of the animal enters the body of a human. You are the spirit of a dog, of a wolf that was killed for killing a human. Your desires are bloody, starved and ravenous.
Unless you can rip the official seal of my contract, all you are doing by screaming so loudly is hurting your own lungs. Take care of your mind, young man, or it will fall apart with time. I support the law.
This letter from Valerio recommends a young and a well-educated advocate to our court. Where is this man?
He's waiting about to hear whether you will let him into the court.
With all my heart, I'll let him in. One of you go and graciously bring him here. In the meantime, the court will hear Valerio's letter. Your Grace should understand that at the time you're reading this, I'm very sick. But when your messenger came to me, I happened to have a young lawyer from Rome visiting. His name is Balthazar. I told him about the controversial case between the Jew and Antonio the merchant. We consulted many law books together. He knows my opinion on the matter, which has been enriched by his own intelligence, which I can't speak of highly enough, and he brings my opinion to you in my place. I beg you, don't let this young age make you underestimate him. I have never seen a young man with so much wisdom. I hope you will welcome him graciously, and you will see how worthy of my recommendation he is. You all have heard what the educated Valerio has written, and I assume this is the lawyer coming now.
Yes, my lord.
Have you come from Padua, from old Valerio?
Yes, my lord.
Welcome. Take your place here. Are you familiar with the different sides of the case facing the court right now?
I have been thoroughly informed about the case. Which one of these men is the merchant and the Jew?
Antonio the merchant and Shylock the Jew.
Is your name Shylock?
Shylock is my name.
You're pursuing a very strange case, but nothing under the Venetian law can stop you from proceeding. You're at his mercy, aren't you?
Yes, as Shylock says.
Do you confess that you have broken the agreement?
Yes, I do.
Then the Jew must be merciful.
Why must I? Tell me, why?
Mercy is not something one is forced to practice. It is a doubly blessed thing. It blesses both the person showing mercy and the person receiving mercy. It is the mightiest in the mightiest men and the most admirable. It is an attribute of God himself. Just consider this, Shylock. If God sought justice against all of us with no mercy, we would all go to hell. This is what I have to say against your desire to seek justice and make the strict court of Venice carry out the merchant's punishment.
My deeds are my responsibility. I want the law to be upheld.
Can he just not pay the money back?
Yes, here I have the money for him in court, even twice the sum. If that is not enough, I will pay 10 times the sum of money, or else pay with my head, my hands, my heart. If none of this is enough, then Shylock's malice of him is honesty. And I beg you, bend the law to your authority. Violate the law a little to do the right thing and stop this cruel devil from getting what he wants.
No, he must not do that. No one is powerful enough in the Venetian law to alter an agreed upon decree. That must not happen.
A Daniel is now judging. Yes, a Daniel.
Please, let me look at the agreement.
Most honorable lawyer, here it is.
Shylock, you're being offered 3 times the money you're owed.
An oath, an oath. I have made an oath by women. Should I backtrack on my throat and make myself guilty of perjury? No, not even for all of Venice.
Well, the penalty must be paid. The Jew may lawfully claim a pound of flesh from near the merchant's heart. Be merciful, Shylock. Take 3 times the money you're owed. Tell me to tear up the agreement.
You can tear it up after the debt has been paid. You are a worthy judge. You know the law. Your interpretations have been correct. I order you by the law, which you must obey. By my soul, I swear, nothing can change my mind. I'm here to take what's legally owed to me.
With all my heart, I ask the court to legally issue its judgment.
Well, then this is it. You must prepare your chest for his knife.
What a noble judge. What an excellent young man.
The intent and purpose of the law relates to the penalty. It has been agreed upon in the contract.
You're a wise judge. You're wise beyond your years.
Therefore, lay your bare chest.
Yes, his breast. Doesn't it?
That's right. Do we have a scale here to weigh the flesh?
I have it ready.
Have a surgeon on the call nearby so the merchant doesn't bleed to death.
Is that spelled out in the law?
It is not spelled explicitly, but so what? You do it out of charity.
It's not in the contract. No, it's not in the contract.
You merchant, do you have anything to say?
Just a little. I'm ready and well prepared. Give me a hand, Bassanio. Forever. Don't grieve because I have fallen into this misfortune on your behalf. For even in this situation, fortune has shown herself to be kinder than she usually is. She usually makes a rest man outlive his world, so that when he is old and has a wrinkle brow, he looks on his own poverty. She at least cuts me off from this lingering misery. Speak well of me to your honorable wife. Tell her how I met man. Tell her how I loved you. Speak well of me after I die. But after you tell her, let her be the judge to decide whether you ever had a loving friend. Only regrets that you're losing a friend. And know that your friend does not regret paying your debt for you. If the Jew cuts deeply enough, I'll pay my own debt with my own heart.
Antonio, I am married to a wife who is as dear to me as life itself. But I don't think as highly of life itself, my wife and everything else in this world as of your life. I would sacrifice all of it. Yes, I would lose all of it to that cruel devil standing there to rescue your life.
Your wife wouldn't be too happy to hear you say that if she were here.
I have a wife whom I swear I love. I wish she were dead so that in heaven she could beg some holy power and come to change this beastly Jew's mind.
It's a good thing that you're making this wish behind her back. Such a wish would definitely upset her.
These men are such Christian husbands. I have a daughter and wish to have a descendant of a Barbara, so I married her rather than a Christian. We are wasting court's time. Let's hear the court's judgment.
A pound of that merchant flesh is yours. The law gives it to you and the court awards it to you.
You're a most noble judge.
And you must cut this flesh off his chest. The law allows it and the court awards it to you.
Such a wise judge. The right sentence. Come, get ready.
Hold on a second. There's another thing in the agreement. The agreement doesn't give any drop of blood. The literal words are a pound of flesh. So take your pound of flesh, but if in taking it off, you shed any drop of a Christian blood, your goods and lands will be confiscated by the city's laws of Venice.
What a wise judge! Listen to him, a wise judge.
Is that the law?
You will see for yourself. Just as you're bent on absolute justice, rest assured that more justice than you wanted would be served for you.
What a wise judge. Listen to him, a wise judge.
I'll take the offer. I'll take the 3 times the money and let the Christian man go.
Here's the money.
Wait, the Jew will have all his justice. He will have nothing but the penalty he asked for.
I'll say it again. He's a wise judge. Yes, a just judge.
So get ready to cut off his flesh. But if in cutting it off you shed 1 drop of Christian blood, you will be sentenced to death and all your goods will be confiscated by the state.
This is the Daniel, a second Daniel. Now I got you, you unbeliever.
Take what's owed to you, Jew.
Give me the money and let me go.
I have it ready for you. Here it is.
He has refused the money in the open court. He will have nothing but the penalty he asked for.
I'll say it again. He's a Daniel, a second Daniel. Thank you, Jew, for teaching me that phrase.
Will I not be given the ocean amount I lent?
You will have nothing but the penalty you asked for, which you can take at your own peril, Jew.
Well then, I hope devil gets him for this. I won't stay here any longer to argue.
Wait, Jew. The law has another requirement of you. It is enacted in the laws of Venice that if a foreigner is proved to have directly or indirectly attempted to kill a citizen, the citizen against whom he plotted will take half of his goods and the other half will be confiscated by the state. And the guilty man's life is in the hands of Duke and his mercy. And I say this, law applies this to you because it seems clear that you have contrived directly and indirectly against Antonio's life and now must face the danger I just elaborated on. On your knees and beg for the Duke's mercy.
Beg that you can have permission to hang yourself. But since you are not left with any property, so now you have to hang at state's expense.
I pardon your life even before you ask, Shylock, so that you can see how different my spirit is from yours. Half of your wealth belongs to Antonio and the other half goes to the state. This may be reduced to a simple fine if you just show some humility.
Yes, the money due to the state can be reduced, nor the money due to Antonio.
No, take my life and everything. Don't pardon me. If you take the prop that holds up my house, you'll be taking my life too, the means which I live.
What mercy can you show him, Antonio?
Give him a rope for hanging, for God's sake.
If it pleases my lord, the Duke and the rest of the court, I'm content to give up half of his wealth owed to me, as long as he gives me the other half of his wealth, so that I can invest it, and upon his death, give it to the gentleman that recently eloped with his daughter. And I want 2 more things: that he converts to Christianity, and that he makes a will here in this court, in which he leaves everything upon his death to his son-in-law Lorenzo and his daughter.
He will do this, or else I will take back the pardon that I just pronounced here.
Are you content, Jew?
I'm content.
Clerk, draw up a will.
Please, give me permission, please. I'm not well. Send the will after me, and I'll sign it.
Go, but do sign it.
When you are Christian, you will have 2 godfathers. But to me, I have 10 more to make it 12 and send you to gallows instead of heaven.
Shylock leaves the trial with both his life and his job intact, but retains only half of his money and is deprived of his identity on being forced to convert to Christianity. Bassanio and Gratiano thank the lawyers, who then ask for the rings as legal fees. They refuse until Antonio intervenes and makes them give the rings to the lawyers. Undisguised Portia and Nerissa return to home at night and see Shylock's daughter Jessica and her Christian husband Lorenzo enjoying the tranquility of Belmont. When their husbands arrive, Portia and Nerissa scold them for giving away their rings, pretending they had been given away to other women. Before long, they reveal themselves as the lawyers from the trial. Portia gives Antonio a letter informing him that 3 of his ships have arrived safely at the port. With the end of the play, we see Bassanio has deep affection for Antonio, but he still derives satisfaction and seems to manipulate situations to serve his own interests. Portia and Bassanio continue to live together along with the former's lady-in-waiting Nerissa and her husband Grassani.